Good morning. Here we are, it's about 9 o'clock on a Monday morning. We've been here now for 2 evenings. Set up next to John, just down the bank, right at the very top end of the night zone. Definitely not my first choice, but we come up here really for a bit of a social with John. But anyway, it's nice up here and it's comfortable. The wind's been pretty strong, hence I'm recording inside the bivvy so you can hear what I'm saying. And to be quite honest, trying to fish a night zone at any distance would have been very difficult. It's been tricky enough just boating baits out across the far bank about 80-90 yards away as it is. So in all fairness, probably done the right thing just to come up here until the wind drops. It has been 50 to 70 kilometers an hour, so trying to boat baits across a far margin 200 yards plus out would probably been a bit of a nightmare anyway, and it wouldn't have happened. And I know John said when he went over there with a lead rod and leaded the middle section on the own margins, he just kept losing lead, so it would have been a nightmare for him anyway without the boat. So we've probably really done the right thing until the wind drops. Wind's still going to be quite strong for today, but apparently by tomorrow, Tuesday, it's going to drop right off 30 degrees and be very agreeable for a bit of sunbathing, if anything else. But also it'll be a good time to really sort of suss that area out. But I think we're going to pack up today and get down there, at least get bedded in, wait for the weather to drop even if we can't get baits out where I want them today, and then go from there. And then I think I'll really be a bit more confident. Sort of middle section is 7 kilometers long and we're right at the very top end. It's a little bit of an all or nothing area this, especially with the wind blowing the other way down the dam. If the wind was the other way and it was blowing up here, then yeah, definitely be the place to go, 100%. But I really think we're just camping at the minute, so, and nothing else. So yeah, there we go. Report back later. Just have a little look around our area of fishing now, so I'll stop talking. So that's looking right up to the tail end of the dam. The river runs in over a little weir pool. That's John. Shallow silty plateau that runs very slowly to down to 5 or 6 foot, and then eventually into the old river bed down to 25 foot, and then up onto a nice little shelf of about 15 foot the other end by the rocks. Needless to say, that's where I'm fishing. There's a lovely little river inlet down there, about 150, 170. Lovely silt spill, spills out, really nice. So needless to say, I've got a rod on that. And there he goes, looking down around towards the other end, the dam end. I've spent some fishing on this very grassy meadow. See where we're coming along and rooting up the grass. So we'll leave it at that. Tuesday the 28th, about 8 in the evening.
Yep.
And we've now finally moved from the shallow end of the lake and moved up to the middle section, the middle night section, after only catching one small catfish, around 18-19 pounds. And nothing else between me and John. With the weather finally subsiding, or the winds finally subsiding, and some very nice light 10-kilometer winds, or about 6 or 7 mile an hour winds, finally decided now's the time to come and fish the middle section. Here I imagine it's probably about 280, 320 yards lot wide. It just slopes off gradually from our own bank slowly out to about 40 foot, and then again slowly to about 50 foot where the old riverbed is, which you can clearly see on the echo sounder, and then in steps it comes up the other side along the far bank with some lovely sort of plateaus and shelves ranging from around sort of 30 feet up to about 14 to 10 feet. So I've decided to put 6 rods all along the far margins, little bit eggs in one basket, but I just really think that's all the fit where all the fish are. I just didn't even really fancy this close in rod this range, just nothing there. So it's a lovely day, probably about 30 degrees today, maybe, and here we are with some lovely views. Got the rest of the week here at least, I should imagine, and maybe next week if we start catching some carp. It looks absolutely fantastic. So there we go. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more news tomorrow fishing, so I suppose I can't.
I have to wait for it to go live again.
Don't, just press the button half down and it'll go. You don't have to wait for anything.
You're going to turn him round?
No, it's a common. There we go. 33 pounds. First fish last night about 10:30. Lovely common, beautiful. It's now Saturday morning, about 9 o'clock. So we've got 2 more to put. Right, bigger. There we go now. Go, 41 pounds 12 ounces. Absolute beast. Some consolation after the really big one that I lost. Apart from that, it cut me off on an underwater obstruction. So I'm chuffed with this. It was caught about 1 o'clock this morning. Just keep going, go on, I'll turn it. Ready to go. Enjoy the second lap. We just go once more. Where are we going? If that isn't good enough, we've still got 1 more to go. A big mirror. Smile! Very gorgeous and glamorous this morning, babe.
Really?
Lovely.
Go on my website, the downtown out of the club.
Oh, brilliant. Even better. Last carp of the night, number 3. This one's 40 pounds and 8 ounces. This thing's like a breeze block, absolutely beautiful. Saturday, I don't know what the date is today. Saturday the 2nd. July.
Yeah, July.
This one at about, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning. Absolute beast. That is something else. Look at the tail on that. Look at that. That's bigger than my afternoon. It's 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, and this time yesterday it wasn't looking very good. 6 days for only one small catfish, and then we moved, and the last 3 days haven't had a take. It's been dismal. Couldn't even catch a roach on maggots. It's been that bad. We're all set for packing up. We're tidying everything up, ready for a move to another possible lake within a couple of hours north. And then 10:30 o'clock, 10:30 last night, I had an absolute screaming take. Fished right in the far margins in a little tiny inlet in a little silty bay, fishing about 11 foot of water, and resulted in a beautiful 33-pound common carp. Absolutely pristine. One hell of a way to finally open the account to this session. That was taken on a mussel, 24mm mussel bottom bait with a little 14mm pineapple pop-up. My go anywhere hook bait seems to work everywhere. Over quite a scattering of freebies, from 20, 24 and a few 30mm freebies, and then a light scattering of particles just around the hook bait, just to really get them down and preoccupied around the hook bait. I'm using quite short hook lengths. It's quite a hard bottom, so it enables me to sort of use that type of tactic really. Shortly after that, I suppose about 11:30, 11:45, I had another screaming take, this time to the left hand rod, just to the 30 yards to the left of the bay in 16 foot of water, right up by the cliffs, right over there within about 10 yards of the cliffs, just before it drops off into about sort of 25 foot of water, shelving off to 35 and then straight off into 55 foot of water. So it's pretty critical where you place the rigs. Played that all the way in. It felt like a really heavy fish. It kited underneath my rods and went off up the bank. I assumed it was quite safe there, having scanning it with the echo sounder. Didn't really show anything bar quite a steady drop off, but I think the fish got snagged on braid or somebody else's braid, and that cut my braid just above the shock leader. So absolute gutter. So at this time I've got 2 rods out of the water, and I put the first left hand rod back out on the one I've just lost the fish on the far left. Come back and then do the right hand, do the next left hand rod along in the bay again. No sooner than I'm turning the kettle on, off goes the left hand rod. Literally probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes maximum from placing it back out. That resulted into a 41-pound 12-ounce common carp again. So a big, I can hardly call it a consolation prize from what I lost really. Absolute result. Sack that fish up and put the rod back out, and then literally half an hour later the bay rod goes again, and it's a little pristine 23-pound common. Not really little, but there it was. So we released that straight away, put that back in, got the rod back out, and then the left hand rod goes again about literally half an hour later. I'm stood over the rod having a cup of tea, literally pick it up before it goes out the clip, and that was probably about 3:30 in the morning. That resulted in a sort of 40 pound 8-ounce mirror carp, first one of the session. So an absolutely epic start. 5 takes, nothing for 6 nights, and then 5 takes in one night. Absolutely made up for everything. Anyway, as you can see, it's a pretty gnarly day out there today. Luckily I thought going to sleep, snuggle up in my sleeping bag, and got 3 of the rods back out onto their spots last night after the mirror carp, and that's where they've stayed ever since, really. I'm pretty glad I did. The wind today is probably hitting at least 60 to 70 kilometers an hour, probably 45 mile an hour plus down this lake. It's really treacherous. You wouldn't go out the other side in that little boat down there at the minute. You'd be asking for trouble. So quite happy with the updates the way they are. They should survive another 24 hours, so hopefully everything should be okay as they are, and we wait hopefully some more action tonight. You know, move in a little bit, move out, you know, but just keep snapping. So hello, it's Monday afternoon around 5-6 o'clock in the evening. We've had one hell of a scorching day. Been a great day again. Got another lovely common carp last night, 31 pound on the nose. Same spot, just over on the inlet, the other side there. I'm zooming on it. So yeah, you can just see there's a little round bush literally just to the left of it in 14-15 foot of water. That's where it went again. Banker every time. Great spot. Definitely got done on one of the other rigs. A little bit odd this morning. It was out of the clip. I'd had a few little issues with it in the night. Wound in, slightly snagged, but not massively when I pulled it in. Dumped both leads. Hook's a little bit mangled, so I think that has definitely been done when you see what we're using. So if we just come around here, we can run through what we got. So here we go. Start with the rods and reels. The rods is my ever faithful Grays torsion, 13 foot, 3.5 test curve rods. They're proper poker sticks, and they're just what you need for fishing these sort of distances. There you go, my Daiwa Bassio reels, slightly shallow spool on these really, but if you couple that you can get 500 yards of 30 pound Power Pro braid, and it fills them up absolutely perfectly. Brilliant braid, wouldn't use anything else. Probably not the best reels for the job. They do take a bit of punishing when you're winding in the gear that we do. Started using these Delcom line clips, probably the best clip on the market. They really haven't let me down. They're starting to get a little bit loose now on the old rubber, but I suppose you can replace the rubber. I've just bought another pack of 3 just to replace 1 or 2 of these, but they really hold the line tight when you want to lock up at long range. And there we go, onto the terminal tackle. Normally a 7-ounce lead there would be good enough on a line clip, but because we are fishing over 250 yards, 280 yards, it's just not quite enough. We're on a bit of a slope as well, so that added 5-ounce lead there is just enough. I'm just putting that on because I'm running a little bit low on normal watch leads, and that just gives me enough. If I have to pick my spot when I get out there on the Echo Fights, put the sounder, try and find a flat little plateau rather than somewhere that goes off steeply, otherwise it just rolls off the bottom, off the magic mark and into deep water. You're not going to get a take. Always using these tail rubbers now to complement the hook link. It just stops the hook link wrapping around here, around a lead, and then shortening the hook link or totally making it useless. 10 inches of quarter semi-stiff, 30 pound, stripped back about 1.5 inches there to the liner, 24mm bottom bait, which has shrunk a little bit but it will swell up. They are absolutely rock hard and they are crayfish proof for 48 hours. Really good. My ever faithful 15mm pineapple banana dynamite spates pop up, absolutely brilliant. Use them everywhere. Just think it it just seems to be the one. And as you can see, all 2 other rigs have got it on, and I'll just ring a changes a little bit. Got one which was yellow, but has been soaked in my ever favourite spicy squid goo, and that seems to be a bit of a good number as well on occasions. Solar 101 size 1s don't seem to ever get blunt. You seem to pull them through any sort of snag, and they just don't seem to blunt. From there on up, we've got about 4 to 6 feet of Corda lead core, and then from there on I've got 40 kilo Power Pro braid, and I've got about 30 foot of that going down to my 30 pound braided Power Pro main line. That just gives a little bit of extra abrasion around the rocks, and that 30 foot's the minimum I use, and if I think I'm fishing over really steep drop offs I'll go longer, but generally speaking it's been enough, although I did get cut off. There we go, it's the boat, usual thing. Fish finder, the old Eagle Garmin 140, absolutely essential. Min coater, 45 pound thrust outboard, absolutely essential again as far as I'm concerned, getting baits out a long way and bringing them back in a straight line. You can't do it on your own when you're rowing. 5 or 6 of these 110 amp hour XMs, New Max CVX, sorry, XMs or whatever you want to call them, brilliant batteries. And I've always got that charging up when I'm not using it on my 80 watt solar panel, which charges at a maximum of around 3 amps per hour, so you can charge one of those batteries nearly half in one day. So yeah, go on for the bait. Homemade boilies, CC Moore mussel flavours, most of my flavours from CC Moore, one fish meal with mussel and black pepper. The other one's bird food, nut mix with banana and cream and ultra spice in 20 and 24 mils. Air dried now, pretty hard. And then here I always use my ever faithful mix, buffet mix. It's got it pretty much all in there. Party blend, hemp, tigers, maize. And then I'll crush some pre-soak some boilies, probably a little bit too long, and you can just crush them up. They're nice and soft, and they're drawn in all the goodness of all the juice in there. And I always put a nice little bed around my hook baits, just a 3-4 good handfuls, pulls the fish in, allows me to use shorter hook lengths, and normally it seems to work for me. Scatter a little bit around, and then with the boilies I just scatter a few in the general area. If I'm fishing a long line of baits, I'll just bait up a line 40-50 yards long, just concentrate little areas of bait around my hook baits, and that's about it. So there we go, we've had a lovely day, like I said, probably touching 30 degrees today. It's been nearly just this light southeasterly wind today, which is blown away from the dam. Gets me a bit excited really, because I think a lot of fish are holding up dam end, and I really do think they just come down and go along that far bank and just do a circuit and then come back up. Bad rods in the close margins, can't get a take, only from £2 roach and tench. It all seems to be along that far margin. It's looking very, very cloudy now, looking like a possible storm. If we get rain tonight, I know that we will get more than one fish tonight. Pretty damn confident it is looking really good. Nice stormy, low pressure, can't go wrong. It's a lovely place, as you can see, and in the distance just a tiny little village nestled in the foothills of the Pyrenees there. No shops or much there at all. They seem to have a lorry that comes around. He's like a mobile grocery lorry, comes around and sells food to all the old locals. So yeah, there we go. Really, that's about it for the minute. We was thinking about making a move this morning, but again caught a carp again last night, and to be quite honest, the calibre of the carp I don't think we'd get anywhere else. We're working something out here. I think we're on the right baits, right baiting strategy, right area, picking odd carp off here and there. It's a holiday, we're having fun, drinking beer and getting a tan. And on that note, I shall say farewell. Whenever. So Wednesday morning, first fish last night, pretty much bang on when we reckoned, about 10:30 at night. This one went off shortly after a £2 catfish, 25 pounds, 4 ounces, and these things are absolutely incredible. I haven't caught carp like this that's fought so hard with big fins like this since the fish of St Lawrence a very long time ago. The same tactics now, all in about 13 to 16 feet of water, all on 24mm muscle boilers with a little 15mm popper, all to the far bank within about 10 yards of the bank. Really going well. So this is the first one of 3 fish. There we go, second fish of the night. Trip, absolutely immense. An absolute bit. These fish are all pristine. This fish doesn't look like it's in a hook in a long time. Ounces, last of 3 fish last night, all caught on 24mm bottom baits, fit my homemade muscle fish mill bottom baits with a little yellow topper. Hurry up. The other side. That looks really impressive like that. Foot of water, all on the far margins over there, about 10 yards from the bank, so I'm just trying to find little ledges and dropping off there like that. An absolute beast. I just really don't want to let this one go. That is absolutely something else. If you saw that swimming around. Cool. Right then. Bye bye, Mr. Carp. Find some clear water to watch him go away in. Ready? Pay attention. Oh, he's gone. It's all but faded, and you can hear all the bass and the perch chasing the fry, splashing about in the margins. The crickets or cicadas or whatever you want to call them are going mad in the trees, and it is like a mill pond. It's hard to believe. This time last night it was blowing about 30-40 mile an hour straight down the lake. And we had a hectic 2.5 hours landing 3 amazing carp, one of 25.5, one of £37.4, which was a beautiful hybrid common, I suppose you can call it, with the most beautiful fish I think I've ever caught. And then an amazing spawned out £40 12-ounce common to make a hat trick of 40-pounders. Got the rods out nice and early tonight. This afternoon got them out about 3:30. But a big change in the weather, possible high pressure. It's John just up here, he's come down for 3 nights to fish with us. Little crescent moon. I'll tell you something. So here we go, it's Thursday the 7th of July and it's about 11 o'clock in the morning. It's been like this since about 8 in the morning. It's going to be about 34 degrees today. It was the most idyllic night last night. Very rare occurrence where the wind totally dropped off, just much like it did now. And as the sun went down, it was the most peaceful, amazingly starry night that you could ever imagine. It's beautiful, absolutely amazing. I really knew that we wasn't going to catch. You know, there's always an outside chance, but just like a lot of these lakes down here in the winter, they do respond well to wind or rain or both together. So, you know, it was just nice being out here, experiencing this lovely southern lake of France. And so today, again, same sort of conditions, very flat, calm. I don't think it's going to change much. 34 degrees, as I say, very little wind, but who cares? We've had 8 wonderful carp, and it's been pretty damn idyllic. There's a bivvy, a little bit of Bruce Springsteen playing at the minute, just to liven things up a little bit on a doggy hole morning. So all the rods were placed perfectly out last night, absolutely bang on the money, exactly how I wanted them. Found great spots between the sort of the rocks and the shelves and everything on the far side. Really happy. I think if there's carp there, I would have had a take. Only use sort of light amount of bait. Gonna leave them out there. You know, the bobbins have barely moved. I don't think there's been much in the way of nuisance fish, so quite happy to leave them out there till this time tomorrow. Hopefully tonight will be the night we get another chance of maybe a big uncaught monster. So we've got a few days left. There's John just there. Go over and see him in a minute, see how he's got on. I'll be surprised if he caught anything as well, but you never know. I think today now it'll be time to crack open a beer very quickly, just sit back, maybe have a little swim. The water looks as divine. It is divine. and just chill out, soak it all up, reflect on what's been an absolutely amazing session. Fantastic. And just to end it, one of my all-time favourites, Bruce Springsteen's Thunder Road. Here we go. Things just turned 3, standing by the church bell. Just thought we'd take a nice leisurely cruise from our base. Just up there, you can probably see John on the point, just maybe. Obviously just slightly to the right of that, but not much. Looking right down a lake from the bridge. There's the bridge there. Very pretty lake. In a minute. And 62 foot of water. Seems to be sort of similar depth along the middle. 70 foot under the bridge. And then it just runs along where we are. It's still 54 in the middle, 53. It's probably dropped a foot overnight. The water's really dropping. So where that white line is, the whiter line, about when we started, it was about that. It was about 2 foot higher. So there's a lot of water come out of here while we've been here, and it will continue to drain down now until the autumn, till the winter. It'll probably be down about 6-7 metres, John reckons. Lloyd just going up there. He's got his work cut out driving around here. There we go. So we'll leave it at that. Heading back home now after a little tour of the lake. Not seen anything interesting, so just nice to get out and see a little bit more of the lake than just the view from the Vivi, really. You tend to get a little bit sort of Vivi bound, as it were. Right, so here we go. It's Friday morning, Friday the 8th, I think. About 9 o'clock now. This is one of two I caught in the night. I had a 27-pound mirror, lovely beautiful orange mirror, about midnight last night. Photographed that and put that straight back. And then I've lost another one, then landed this one about 2:30, and then lost another one at about 8 o'clock this morning. So it's been quite a busy night. We've had thunderstorms and rain all night long, and you just knew it was going to be a good night. There we go. 29 pounds eventually lifted up. More of a battle on the mat than in the water. Yeah, so as you can see, here's the bait we're using. I always knew that they were favouring the fish meal boilie, and it's a very, very good sign that they're eating plenty of it. None of the bird food though. Always pays to have two different types of bait. Like I say, about 9 o'clock or so on a Friday. That was number 10. Second, two out of 4 last night. I've lost one other that got cut me off in the snags, and so I think and I had another one which dumped the lead. So I think I've lost 4. Well, I've physically lost 4 fish. One's got away with it. And
Right with them, Matt.
no. Go say again. There you go. Well done, John. Last morning.
Yep. All you boys have to do is just buy a licence and do your fucking homework.
That's right. Yeah. Lobbed out in the margins. That simple. instead of rowing them out. Lovely way to finish a nice little 3-day session. Fantastic, lovely little prize that is. It's a little birdie. £21 plus. 21.7. Well done, John. Paid off. Not doing one with your camera. Yeah. Well, I'm on video, so it's not a cat photo. Good morning. It's Saturday the 9th of July, about 8 o'clock in the morning. Sun's just coming up over the hills behind us on another glorious day in the south of France in this wonderful lake. That is one lovely view, looking down towards the bottom of the dam with the way the sun's shining on the side of the hills and mountains over there. So as you just saw, John finally's landed one of £21 7 ounces this morning. His first one and his 6th day of fishing with us. Just fished out in the margins about 20-30 yards off that little point over there. Finally paid off. As for me, I got woken up by another tench this morning that hung himself on a double 24mm bottom bait, and that's been my wake up call today. Apart from that, nothing else. So I was expecting a quiet night. So this is it. We're slowly starting to pack up. First rod pod gone down, just on the process of winding in those, and here's a campsite, just slowly whittling it down now. Hopefully we'll be out of here within the next hour or so, and on our way to our little mini 3-day road trip adventure back up through France. And the first stop is going to be Carcassonne. So yeah, can't wait to get on that little trip and say goodbye to this wonderful lake. So I'm going to carry on packing up the rest of the stuff now, as Marcy, glued to Facebook as usual, and then carry on with the rest of the packing up. Over and out. So here we are en route now, on our way up to Carcassonne, and we're just driving up this lovely, well, down the middle of this valley with this amazing mountain range to our left. It's Saint Rome de Tarn, Lac de Pinet, on the River Tarn. It's a dam section of the River Tarn basically. Now, two good night areas there, and we're going to pull up there for the night. Got a lovely evening drive, sun's starting to go down, the best time of day, still bloody warm. And we've just got the pleasure of driving through this absolutely pristine, amazing countryside. It really is totally pure and unspoiled, you know, totally backwards in time. We just pulled up for a little tea break, got the pate and the bread out on a nice,
darling, it was a romantic
meal on a nice little picnic bench in a lay-by right next to a really fast flowing running river. And just to go say sort of how I don't know, it almost seems like back in time a lot of these places are around here in the deep south of France. All of a sudden, up the track from behind us, an old man, it might have been his granddad and grandson, come up the track with their tiny little spinning rods and their little mini spinners and their old whisk, both got a pair of matching old wicker baskets. And I struck up a little conversation to see what they were fishing for, and he opened up his basket and he got a nice half a dozen or so perch from about 4 to 8 inches long that he's taking home for his meal. Absolutely brilliant, you know, proper old school, back how it used to be. So that was quite good, that was. We'll report back later. So, on our way to Saint Rome de Tarn, we just come round the corner and just seen this epic view, absolutely amazing, and I don't know how far we can see, but I bet the sunset here is something else. Just to give you an idea, let's see if we can zoom in. Look at that. You can literally see as far as the eye can see, and I don't know how far that ridge is, but that could be, I don't know, that could be 50 miles, 100 miles, I don't know. All I know, I've seen a few good views in France over the years, and this one probably tops it. Absolutely amazing, nearly panoramic really. Well, it's been an amazing day. Done lots today. Some cows. Grazing away. Look at that. That is like, wow. And the farmer's just come out behind us. Just been rolling his bales. Fantastic, brilliant, well worth a quick stop that. Good morning, it's 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning, And we finally made it to St. Rome de Tarn at 9:30 last night, and found this lovely little spot on the bend just next to the pub or bar. Campsite behind us, lovely little park area. It's looking down the lake or river. It's the far side, about 100 or so yards wide. Lovely cliffs, and there's the park area, lots of park benches, and just looking up in the distance upstream. Absolutely beautiful. Couldn't resist to get the rods out last night. Thought, as we're here, when in Rome, why not? And sure enough, this morning we caught a scrappy little mid upper double, probably about 16-17 pound common carp, which we done a quick photograph and then put back. Kettle's on, just boiling. Time for the second cup of tea of the morning, and maybe one more carp, that'll be good. Beautiful. That carp was about 6 o'clock this morning. Since then we've seen many fish move in mid-river. Had a little bit of a nightmare with a big clump of weed on far two right hand rods across the far margin, but as all the fish seem to be showing in the middle of the river, and then also a couple of really big fish showing and rolling in the weed just to the right of the boys out there. I've removed two of the rods and popped them out there. Just caught on double 20mm hardened hook baits this morning. Fish meal again, that's the one that's gone again. And so just put another little spread of bait out there, just a few scoops of particles and a few handfuls of boilies, enough for a reasonably quick bite, enough to get a confidence, enough to get their heads down, enough to get a bite. So yeah, there we go. That's the bar just through there. There's the van. Campsite behind us. Absolutely beautiful. Mist rising off the lake. Going to be a cracker today. 34 degrees, I believe. Lovely. Number two of the morning. This proper little wildy common. This one probably only goes about £7, but you know, £7-8 maybe. So second one of the morning. Lost another one on literally 10 minutes before. Put that rig out, and 10 minutes later it went with a little PVA bag. So 2 tiger nuts and a buoyant piece of plastic cord. There we go, fantastic. They're queuing up. So a nice little way to finish our French trip with a few proper wildy river common carp. boiling. Make your tea, babe.
I am doing, that's what I jumped out for.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's the same. Scrappy little common. And a baby coffee.
Oh yeah, you're videoing, aren't you? Oh.
There you go.
Oh, that's cute.
Little cuties.
Oh, he's cute.
Probably about £7–8 again.
Oh.
Lovely.
Oh, that's cute.
So Robert Honor decides to go for a swim in the lake, but he hasn't jumped in once, not twice or 3 times, the 4th time. Here he comes, look. Duncan Goodhue, you have some competition. So I'm dolled up, ready to go, and he decides to mess about in the river. Oh no, sorry, get that right, lake. Nice.
Lovely. Oh. Are you videoing me?
No,
Liar.
no, I'm not. And here he comes, and that's exactly why I'm not going in, because I wouldn't be able to pull myself out like that. Don't spoil it!
Look at that. So we just left Lac de Pinet at St Rome de Tarn. Basically St Rome de Tarn is just up there, through there. And we've just spent the night there and bung the rods out and had a great bit of sport. I had 4 takes and 3 commons. Best was around £16 I suppose, the other 2 probably around 7 or 8 little wildy river commons. And then we just come back here. I remember seeing this on Google Maps, just thought I'd come and video it. There's the tranny, there's Marcy in the old transit. So we're just off just to have another quick look at another spot on the Tarn. Just a little bit further down from here, and then off to Villefranche-de-Panay. Just a little bit further from St Rome de Tarn. This is Villefranche-de-Panay, or the gorge. I bet we're 400 feet up here easily. 500.
God.
Yeah, look at that. That's quite epic, that is.
Just some scenery.
There we go. Just stand to the right a little bit. You don't know, well, that right then. There we go. Lovely. Look at that. What do you think of that? Some scenery then, babe? Pretty, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely epic. Brilliant. See any fish down there? No. Nah. Brilliant. Might be total white loss.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. There you go. That's just below, just around by the dam of Lac de Pinet on the River Tarn, part of the River Tarn. Just get it rolling for a minute, mate. It's looking quite nice around cafe. Panay. Look at that water. That water is just bluey, greeny blue as you could ever imagine, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know where the recovery club went to.
Oh look, boats. Where's the cafe thing?
Here.
Oh yeah, that's
There
what I
we
wanted
go.
to take.
There he is.
Look,
Yeah.
that is.
Just there, look, Dave.
No, that
old
and that one.
That's the pump out. That's the weir. So. Zoom it in, take that away, look, follow it. There's probably carp cruising in around here. Cruising about down
No, look at all the sludge.
there. Yeah, I know. Well, that's why the carp like it. It's good cover. Only 15 miles from St Rome de Tarn to Villefranche de Panay. We followed the River Tarn along for a little while, and then we've just had this epic climb, second gear all the way, and somewhere down there is the River Tarn. Look at that, and it's just following that gorge all the way along, the gorges of the Tarn. Look at that, what an amazing piece of scenery. Absolutely something else. The sun at the minute is baking. 34 degrees today.
So here we are in Franche de Panay. Is that right?
Villefranche
Oh,
de Panay.
Villefranche de Panay.
Yeah.
Oh, a waterfall. Look, there was a market. We've missed the market. Are we going to get out here?
We can come back this way. I'm just going to do a circuit of the lake.
Okay. Oh, it looks really pretty round here. So yeah. So we're going to do a circuit of a lake. Surprise, surprise. Oh, a bit of life.
Yeah. It's a bit more of a bustling little community than
Yeah, it
what it
is.
looks on the map anyway.
34 degrees out here.
There we go, this little
Oh,
French
no,
lake of
that's
Panay.
lovely. Oh, that's a lovely lake.
Yes, right, so places down the right hand side here. Let's have a look at that. Let's drive around.
Right. That's enough little videoing
Yeah.
as we just get to the lake. Goodbye all.
So, here we are. Next destination. Last night, well not last night, second from last night, but last night fishing. I should imagine. And here we are at Castelnau-les-Outs in the Aveyron region of France. Had a great night at St Rome de Tarn on the River Tarn yesterday and had 3 small carp. But we thought it was time to move on a little bit further south, so north even. So we come back here again. It's the first time I've been here in 2 years, where we fished the middle section last time. The Populars swim over near where Pierre's camping site is, and it's just, you can just literally fish right outside of your van or your car, like fishing on a lawn. That's busy as usual. Obviously couldn't really fish the middle section, which is where I fished 2 years ago. So I thought we'd come up right round the bend from Cabernac. There's only 1 or 2 swims around here, all of which involve putting your rods in the water and when you get a take, really you got to walk out as far as you can, just so you can lift your rod, because there's an oak tree in the way, and all the swims are like this, if not worse. The water level here is super high, just like it was at Parloop, which I'll go to in a minute. So I thought this will do. The van's just behind us on the track. It's a track all the way around Castanella South now, which makes it pretty easy fishing on most parts of it, apart from maybe the middle sector where you need the boat or there's a bit of a walkway gear. There we go. It's absolutely alive with fish here. There is a lot of fish in here. Never experienced this 2 years ago when we were up in the meadow section. As lovely as it was, the fish were a little bit harder to come by. But it is alive with them here, but no doubt they are pretty pressured, I just imagine. But I say pressured, apart from the usual idiots that fish the populars, all this around here is dead. Obviously has been fished, maybe at the weekend, but yeah, there we go. No pressure around here. Perhaps this is why all the fish are around here and not in front of Cabernac village instead. So going back to earlier today, we left St Rome de Tarn, and we took a direct route up to Villefranche de Panay over the Tarn Gorge and over the mountains, and by Christ, what an epic little journey that was. That was really hard on the old transit van, but she coped with it well. Good girl. So did Marcy. Good girl. And we made our way over some of the most breathtaking and stunning scenery I've seen in a long time.
That's because I put some lippy on.
Yeah, well, apart from that as well, obviously. So yeah, we made it over the top of the mountain and down the other side, and then to Villefranche de Panay, which is only 15-16 miles from St Rome de Tarn, but it did take a while. We had a drive around there, but it's a very inaccessible lake again. There's a couple of points of access where you could fish out the back of your van. Still don't know about the night fishing, couldn't see any signs, done a full circuit of it, and thought, nah, I think that's about all we could really learn from that, really. Water level high there. So then we went on to Paraloop, have a look around that. It's only been probably 15-16 years since I last saw it, and it's been over 20 years, 21 years since I fished it, and by Christ has that place changed, certainly in 16-17 years. Totally overdeveloped now, boats on every stretch of land, houses, moorings, you name it. A real haven for the holiday maker. So tried looking at a few more access points, but to no avail. So we left there finally after we'd also had a nice meal in Paraloop itself, nice rare burger, and then headed on right up cross country from the Tarn region of France into Évron and up to Castanella South. So yeah, so we're all bedded in now, got the rods out in the water. A little bit tight here because of the water level. I think later on in the season you could probably bivvy up down here where the rods are, which makes it a lot more comfortable, a bit more like fishing on a little beach. So you know, we're all sort of tucked in here a little bit for the night. There we go, we've got the far margin over there. Nobody can fish that, it's just overgrown with willows. Right under the willows you've got 11 foot. Needless to say, one of my rods is there, and then I've got another one just to the side of it in about 11 foot to the right, and then another one just out there at about 100 yards just on the shelf where it comes up from 33 foot up to about sort of 20 foot. So I've got one just on the shelf there, and then one on the plateau itself in 18 foot, just a light scattering of bait on all 4 rods, 2 on tigers because I know tigers do really well here, and 2 on boilies, and just see if we can nick one tonight and make it the hat trick for 3 venues and catching on 3 different carp on 3 different venues. And as I speak to you now, there's a carp just bow waving under the water just out here still. Just happen to see him break surface, so they're still around. Water's super warm, 28 degrees. It was 20 at Agley, it was 23 at St Rome de Tarn last night, and now 28 here. You get in here, it's literally like standing in a lukewarm bath. Absolutely incredible. So I don't know what that's going to do for the carp fishing, but I suppose we'll find out. If we can hit one by tomorrow morning, then it'll be a result. Right. What do you reckon then?
Oh my god, I think that's 40. I do think that's in the 40s.
36.
Oh, that's still a good
spawned
size.
out. You know, it would have been closer to 40 2 months ago, but it's got an empty belly again.
Right.
But 36, who's complaining? First fish back on Castanel Lasouts, 3rd venue. Okay, here we are. Castanel Lasouts. Last fit day of fishing, we thought of pop in here and have a sneaky night in here. Found a real tight old swim right at the end of the night zone. Nobody there because it's bloody horrible to fish. Fish jumping all over the place. Tiger nut, 150 yards under the far margin, under a willow in 9 foot of water. Double tiger nut and 2 handfuls of bait. £36. Come on, what a way to go for the trip. Absolutely over the moon. What a beast, chuffed to bits. So there we go, 35.5 pounds. Second carp of the night. I don't know what time it is at the minute. I don't know, probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. Already had a £36 catfish as well. So I've had a £36 common, £36 catfish, £35.5 common again. Oh, for these guys. There we go. What a lovely fish. Great condition fish, this one.
Yeah, that's a good photo right there. That's it.
Yeah, let's get this bad boy back. That water, at the minute, is a balmy 28 degrees. No hope of sacking these fish up. I don't know how they're not turning up. Belly up. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we'll get this one back now. Give them the least possible stress I possibly can. And splashing in here all night, and there they are. There he is. Ripping it up in here, totally inaccessible. Oh, there's a good one, you can barely see him. I'm not sure if they're bloody spawning in here or not though. Or just feeding. It sounds like they're just spawning. But in July, maybe they're spawning again. Could be. This is Cabernac. Near St Gina's d'Olt. An absolute mecca for carp fishing. And there we go, if you look over there you can just see the poplars just on the edge of the point here, and that's where everybody fishes, easy access. But if you can fit into other places where they don't really see much action, you'll catch them. 330s last night, 4 takes, £36